Hakim Agung Sudrajat Dimyati menyerahkan diri ke KPK untuk diperiksa sebagai tersangka atas kasus suap penanganan perkara di Mahkamah Agung. Tersangka Hakim Agung Sudrajat Dimyati telah tiba di gedung KPK pada pukul 10 pagi. Hakim Agung ini merupakan satu dari 10 tersangka yang ditetapkan oleh KPK. Ketua KPK Firly Bahuri dalam konferensi pers pada Jumat dini hari tadi menyebut ada 10 orang yang ditetapkan sebagai tersangka dalam kasus dugaan suap pengurusan perkara di Mahkamah Agung.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is FARADISA ROZITA DEVI from Universitas Brawijaya, Class B, Group 3. Today, I will present our essay title Towards Justice, the Implication of Sudrajat Dimyati Corruption Case on Legal Reform in Indonesia. Corruption in the judiciary is a critical issue in Indonesia, and Sudrajat Dimyati case highlights this problem at the highest level. As a Supreme Court judge, he was expected to uphold the law, but instead abuse his power for personal gain. This scandal has severely damaged public trust in the judiciary, undermining confidence in the rule of law. The root of the problem lies in the weak oversight, like a transparency in the judicial appointment and systemic normalization of bribery. Addressing this issue requires urgent reforms, such as transparent requirement process, stronger ethical enforcement, and better financial compensation for judicial staff. If left unaddressed, judicial corruption will continue to erode justice in Indonesia. Is to demand accountability and ensure the judiciary serves the people, not personal interests. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is NANDA YULIANTO, but you can call me Nanda, and I'm from English Class B Faculty of Law, Universitas Brawijaya. Okay, so today I invite you guys to explore a critical and urgent topic that strikes at the core of our justice system in Indonesia. The title is The Fall of Integrity, Legal Process, and the Impact of Sudrajat Dimyati's Corruption Scandal. This case isn't just about one individual. It's about the ripple effects of corruption on our society. What happens when those tasked with upholding justice betray their duty? And now I'm in against side, and together we will uncover the layers of this scandal, analyze its consequences, and also discuss what it means for the future of our legal and also moral systems. Let's find out. So, corruption is the misuse of power, but has the judiciary, which is known for its integrity, ever committed a case of corruption? Independent judiciaries are vulnerable to taking bribes. However, Sudrajat Dimyati is a Supreme Court judge who was involved in a corruption case in 2022. And Dimyati became the first Supreme Court judge in history to be jailed for corruption. And Dimyati's actions, including accepting bribes of 800 million rupiah and other benefits, exposed deep flaws in the judicial system in Indonesia. And of course, this is very contrary to the principles agreed upon by all judges in the world in the Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct, which states that the integrity is one of the codes of ethics and also a behavior that must be owned by a judge. And in fact, according to data from KPK, the Supreme Court's Integrity Assessment Survey, or SPI score in 2022 only reached 74.861, and indicating high risk of corrupt practices and maladministration in the justice system. And No in 2011 states that the implementation of the legal profession in Indonesia in practice tends to develop towards profit seeking, so that legal awareness and also social care decreased. And from the bribery case committed by Supreme Court Justice Sudrajat Dimyati, it can be concluded that the integrity of law enforcers in Indonesia is very concerning. With loss of integrity of these law enforcers, money can be exchanged for justice. And it's sad, but this is a fact. And several factors that cause law enforcers to commit corruption and its impact on society are internal and external factors that cause law enforcers to commit a corruption. And for example, the internal one is about law compensation, and the external factor is about weak monitoring systems, and traditionally considered to be the main causes of corruption. And in addition, some factors that cause law enforcers to commit corruption are a culture of corruption within institutions, and low moral integrity, and also a weak law enforcement system. And yeah, finally, people now prefer to viralize a case first before reporting it to the authorities. In conclusion, although law enforcers hold power, it should not be abused, as it compromises the judiciary's integrity. While Sudrajat Dimyati's arrest over hope for justice in Indonesia, public trust in law enforcement continue to decline, damaging the Supreme Court's credibility. And yeah, in conclusion, law enforcement in Indonesia remains flawed as law enforcers struggle to uphold justice fairly rather than protecting the law's reputation itself. Yeah, thank you for the attention, and hope this discussion has been insightful and also mindful, and together we can make a difference in the future. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm WIDIANTI from English Class B Faculty of Law, Brawijaya University. Now I will discuss a little about the sentence received by corruption suspect Supreme Court Justice Sudrajat Dimyati. The case of Supreme Court Justice Sudrajat Dimyati highlights the significant challenges faced by judges, including external pressure, threats, and risks of corruption. Sudrajat was involved in a bribery case related to the bankruptcy petition of the Inti Dana Savings and Loan Cooperative. The KPK sting operation in September 2022 uncovered a bribery scheme worth 2.2 billion Indonesian rupiah distributed in cash and transferred to secure a variable value. Sudrajat was among 10 suspects charged under the anti-corruption law. After being questioned, he was detained, and evidence, including financial documents and communication recordings, were confiscated. On May 30 in 2023, the Bandung's corruption court sentenced him to 7 years in prison, a fine of 1 billion Indonesian rupiah, and additional penalties if fine wasn't paid. This case underscores the vulnerability of the judiciary to corruption and need for reform to uphold integrity and public trust. Judges must demonstrate unwavering commitment and professionalism to ensure justice is severed. While systemic oversight remains essential to protect the justice system from undue influence.
Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is SILVIA RENATA TICOALU, with the last three numbers of ID student is 061, from English B class, a student of the Faculty of Law, Brawijaya University. Here I am from Group 3, would like to present the main points of my argumentative essay entitled Supreme Court Judge Corruption Scandal, Tracing the Trail of the Fraud in the Judiciary. Corruption in Indonesia has permeated various fields, including law enforcement, which make it increasingly difficult to eradicate. Corrupt practice in the judiciary have spread into many legal practitioners, such as those involving Supreme Court Judge Sudrajat Dimyanti, who was found guilty of bribery in a bankruptcy case by accepting a bribe of 800 million rupiah. This certainly undermines the objectives of the law and weakens the integrity of the judiciary, thereby reducing public confidence in the existing legal system. Indonesia faces a dilemma in law enforcement, hampered by the low integrity of law enforcers involved in corruption. Although most of the image of corruption is negative, there are some positive signs, such as the opportunity for people and media to vote on a national scale, which is make it a vote gather that requires legal practitioners to have a higher sense of morality. But corruption cases are still a big problem in Indonesia, especially in the scope of law enforcement. Quoted from the practice of corruption in Indonesia's Court of Justice and efforts to prevent corruption by law enforcers in Indonesia, Iskandar 2022, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest level of corruption. Bribery is most common in public office, especially in the law enforcement sector. Corruption often occurs in public office, especially in the law enforcement sector, indicating that Indonesia's justice system is still vulnerable to corrupt practices. Strict government oversight and public participation are needed to ensure transparency and prevent corruption. This issue is more complex as it relates to the existing legal system, not just the behavior of individual law enforcers. In conclusion, the corruption scandal committed by Supreme Court Justice Sudrajat Dimyanti highlights systemic challenges that require serious attention. Reforms and strict oversight from the government and the public are essential to ensure transparency and fairness in Indonesia's justice system.